What we can say for certain about these authors is that all of them were highly educated, literate, Greek-speaking Christians of at least the second generation. It's an important point. They're all highly educated, they're literate, they're Greek-speaking Christians of a later generation. I stress that because Jesus' own followers were not highly educated, literate, Greek-speaking Christians. Who were Jesus' followers? Well, according to the Gospels themselves, they were peasants from Galilee. The native language in Galilee was Aramaic. Most peasants in the ancient world simply could not afford the time or the leisure to get an education, which meant most peasants simply spoke their native language and couldn't speak another language, let alone read another language, let alone write another language. The best estimates indicate that in the ancient Roman world, at the best of times, 10 to 15% of the population could read and write. And when I say write, I mean they could sign their name. 10 to 15%, which means 85 to 90% of people could not even read, let alone write their name. Well, how many people could write a book, compose a book? Well, not very many people, only the upper echelons. Well, who were in the upper echelons? The wealthy and the elite. The followers of Jesus were not wealthy and elite. They were lower class peasants. They were fishermen and the like, who probably never went to school, certainly could not compose books, and almost certainly did not speak Greek in the first place. Now, it's entirely possible that John, just to take one example, that John started out as a lower class peasant fisherman in Galilee who spoke Aramaic. According to the book of Acts, chapter 4, verse 13, he was in fact illiterate. Well, so suppose he started out that way. Now, it's possible that after the resurrection, he went back to school and he learned Greek, and then he learned Greek composition, and he got pretty good at it, and at the end of his life, he composed a gospel. I mean, it's theoretically possible, but for most historians, it seems somewhat unlikely. And given the fact that John doesn't claim to be written by John, there's really no reason for thinking that Jesus' disciple John actually wrote the book. So too with the other Gospels. These are anonymous writings by Christians living in later decades nearer the end of the first